Welcome back, class. I'm glad all of you enjoyed class 1 so much and you wanted more, and we're going to be expanding on some topics and introducing some new ones so that way you can get better at Mabinogi. This is for you, returning and new players. Now, there are some tutorials and guides out there in the world, but without the foundational knowledge, you're not really going to understand what they're talking about because sometimes they assume you know. And that's okay, because with this class, you're going to learn things about Mabinogi and understand the basics. So when you watch an in-depth video about it, you'll be like, oh right, Professor Hero mentioned something about reforges. So with Now's blessing, in today's class, we're going to cover some topics that you can focus on early game to start getting stronger and building a great foundation for your character. So make sure to grab your snacks now, class, make sure to get something to drink, and take a seat. Alright class, settle down, take your seats. So a brief overview of today's class. We're going to be covering some of these following.
Please tell me it's gonna to be how to increase my max DPS output for maximum carnage.
Alright, yeah, you know what, that's going to be one of the topics, but one of the main things that we're going to talk about today to kick off the class is how to increase your inventory size. Like we mentioned in the last video, inventory is a big key to your time in Mabinogi. You're going to be picking up a lot of items, you're going to be getting a lot of equipment, and you're going to want to dress stylish. So let's dive right into topic number 1. Alright, in the previous class we briefly touched upon the inventory, but now we're going to fully dive into it. There's a lot to take in here. Honestly, it's not that much. Once you understand it, it's pretty straightforward. That's why we have this class though, so that way you will know. So if you're a new player, your inventory should look something like this. My little test dummy here was a prime example of a brand new character. Now if you look right here, this is going to be a bag. This is the very first bag that you're going to get along your journey through Mabinogi. Now, as you do Blanded, you're going to be able to get more bags. I think she provides up to 3 or 4, maybe even 5 bags. And this is going to expand your total inventory. So what you're going to want to do now is click on your bag. You can either right click it or press Control and then click to open up the bag. Now, this will reveal additional inventory for you to use and store stuff in. As you can see on screen, I had to initially open the bag. But once you open the bag, as long as you press I or close out of your main inventory, you won't have to continuously reopen your bag. So that way you can organize them on screen, and anytime you press I, you have immediate access to all your inventory.
Yaki, why is your inventory so messy?
Are you even supposed to be in my class? I don't. What's your name?
Doesn't matter. I'm an egg.
Alright, that is a fair point. My inventory is messy. Unlike what Firelight said, I haven't been dropping things I don't need. I'm just too lazy to clean it up, spending too much time teaching this class, and just playing the game whenever I get a chance. So, let's talk now on other ways that you can get bags from the game. Alright, so Auction House. Auction House is going to be your go-to for if you want to buy anything. It's a really great resource. So at the top of the search bar, type in bag. And one thing I do want to mention, class, using Auction House is kind of like using Bing. Unless you type exactly what you want, you're not going to get it. That's why the Wikipedia is a great resource. Now you're going to see some prices and you're going to be like, wow, that's a lot. If you look to the right, you're going to see price, and you can actually sort price from low to high. So as a new player, there's actually some very affordable options in terms of expanding your inventory size early on. And I just want to mention, don't be like me, don't be an idiot. You can only buy most bags once. The game will not allow you to have duplicates of the same bags. Sometimes there's a rare exception, but most of the time you can only have one type of the same bag. Oh, and always read the description of the bag to make sure you're not buying a bag that's exclusively for fish. As always, our class notes down in the comments below will have links to the wiki guide for bags and everything else we discussed in this class today. Another way to get bags is through events. Mabinogi always has events going on, and they're usually updated once a week whenever the server goes down for maintenance, so always keep an eye on the website. From this guy here, Joe, you can actually get a frosted bag that only takes up 1 square and gives you like over 100 slots. So for giving up 1 slot, you're getting 99 extra slots. I think it's worth it. Right now, I want you guys to take a breather. Take a drink of your tea, your coffee, whatever you have. Eat some chips, take a little break. How are you feeling? I want to know down in the comments below how you guys are finding the game so far. Is there any questions you have? Is there anything you want me to cover in the next videos that you really need to know? I want everyone in my classes to succeed and make it far, Mabinogi. I want to run content with you guys. I want you guys to have fun. I want you guys to live the fantasy life you have while being knowledgeable and not feeling overwhelmed by the game. I think it's time for us to move on to our next topic. How do I get stronger? That is probably the most asked question that I've seen regarding Mabinogi. It's a question I ask myself. Now, real quick, rebirthing is a way to get stronger. It allows you to keep leveling up, gaining AP, so that way you can keep leveling up your skills. Best way to think about rebirthing is for every set amount of milestones, you're gonna get a stat increase. So when you hit 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, and so on, you actually get a stat increase to your overall character. So rebirthing is very crucial. Don't skip out on it. Now, I think it's time for us to jump into stats and skills. Alright class, this is your stat screen. To pull this up, press C on your keyboard and you'll have access to everything regarding your character. Now on screen you're going to see what each stat means and how it affects your character. We're going to talk about how to get some of these numbers up for you. And we're going to talk about things that you can do early game, nothing that's going to cost you a lot of money or require you to run any hard content. So the first thing we're going to talk about is homesteads. A lot of events and gachapons will give items that you can use on your homestead, and these items will actually give you a stat increase, a passive one. If you're not too sure about homesteads, it's pretty simple, but I'll add a link to how to get the homestead quest, how to do the homestead quest in our class notes, so that way you have access to it. But as you can see here, some of the items that I placed down actually give me a strength increase, HP increase, XP increase, so it's definitely worth checking these out. You can actually buy some of these items off the auction house. They are a little bit pricey, but keep an eye out on events. They're a great way to get them, especially for free. Early on, skills are going to be the primary way that you actually get stronger in the game. So if there's a skill that you hate and you don't like using, you might want to level it up. Whenever you level up a skill, you actually get skill points that will feed into your strength, your dex, your luck, your int, all that stuff. And all of this together combined makes your character stronger. So ignoring a skill is actually making your character weaker. So take some time, whenever you have some downtime, you're not sure what to do, level up your skill. If you hover over the skill, it's going to tell you what you need to do in order to level it up. Now, once you use the skill enough, you're going to see AP train. That is an option for you, and it is highly frowned upon. Once you use AP, that's gone forever, especially when it's used for leveling up a skill this way. It consumes the AP and you're no longer to get it back through items such as a skill reset capsule. So like, let's say you started leveling up your magic skills and you're like, for now, until I get to that later on, I want to focus exclusively on warrior skills. Any AP that you sunk into leveling up the magic skill through AP train will be lost forever. So if you use the skill reset capsule, you'll never see that AP again. So how are you guys feeling? Making use of your homestead is a great way to passively increase your stats, as well as leveling up your skills. Your skills are the main thing you want to focus on as a new player. Now, there are a few other ways that you can strengthen your character, but we're going to cover that in another video because early game you don't really need to focus on these too much. Oh, saved by the school bell, I guess. Before you guys go, we do have a special guest today. She loves fashion and she loves interviewing people, so give it up for our fashionista, soul streamer, Taminogi.
Hello, I am your teacher, Tamara, and I'm going to give you some advice on how to control your screenshots. There is no question that Mabinogi has a ton of outfits for you to enjoy for yourself and for your character. And to take some really nice screenshots with these outfits, we will be using the screenshot mode. When you first enter into screenshot mode, it will fix your camera into a specific angle. So if I were to do this and move around with my right click, as you can see, the camera can be changed. Now if you were to go to your arrow keys and do the up key, it would move up. Whereas if you went down, it would go down. However, if you press left or right arrow key, it would do nothing. So if you would like to turn left or right, or come closer or further away, you would need to use your right click. There are many locations in Mabinogi for you to choose from, and even the weather and time of day will help you with this. Just as an example, right here, it is around 4 a.m. in game, 3 to 4 a.m., and the sunrise is just coming out behind me. Let's also pretend that there is a giant beside me that I'm trying to get a good picture of, and I really need a better angle, but because I'm a human, I'm too short to get that angle. A tip that I would have for you is to open your inventory or your dressing room and try out some of the chairs. Now, I would want to switch out of screenshot mode and then go back in with the chair on, and then I could move out of it. And as you can see, I am immediately in a better angle for a giant. Now, if there's a specific gesture that you would like to use in your screenshot, you can press N to bring up your gestures, and of course, select whichever gesture you would like to have in your screenshot. You can place it on a random temporary hotkey position. Close your gesture bar, and let's say we go back into our screenshot mode and press that hotkey, and voila, you have your perfect screenshot. I really hope that you enjoyed the lesson on how to control your screenshots. Good luck, Fashionogis!